Très bien, monsieur. Bonjour, bonjour. Comment vous allez? Yika lafi. Zakramba. Tumkiware. Yam yika lafi. Thank you.
What if I told you 20,000 women put down their tools of daily life and picked up shovels to build a future for free, not for pay, not for fame, but for their country? This is not a movie. It's Burkina Faso today, and you're about to witness something extraordinary. In the heart of West Africa, a silent revolution is unfolding, not with guns, not with protests, but with bare hands, wheelbarrows, headscarves, and an unbreakable spirit. Burkina Faso, once labelled one of the world's poorest nations, is showing the world what true nation building looks like. And at the front lines of this transformation are not just soldiers or politicians or international aid. They are women, ordinary women, mothers, traders, widows, students, farmers, more than 20,000 of them. And they've made a choice that has stunned the world, to work voluntarily without pay on construction sites across the country. They are mixing cement, lifting gravel, flattening roads, building drainage systems, raising the foundation of a new nation, literally. To understand the full depth of this story, we need to understand the context. Burkina Faso, under Captain Ibrahim Traore, is undergoing one of the most intense periods of transition in its modern history. Faced with terrorism, economic instability, and the legacy of neocolonialism, the country found itself at a crossroads. But instead of collapsing, the people stood up, and the women, they didn't just stand. They carried bricks on their heads and marched toward progress. We are not just women, we are warriors, says Mariam Kabor, one of the volunteers helping construct a rural access road in the Centre-Nord region. What the women are saying: I don't need to be paid. My pay is seeing our children go to school safely. Asoda, 39, mother of 5, from Wahiguya. This is our country. No one will build it for us. It's our blood that will mix with the cement if it must. Foti, 24, student turned volunteer. If the president can risk his life for our future, we can at least give our time for the roads. Yvette, 62, grandmother. This is the mindset of a people awakened from the dusty roads of Kayatu, the farmlands of Banfara. These women are involved in various nation-building projects, rural and intercity roads, connecting isolated villages to towns for the first time in decades, school fences and compounds, making it safer for children, drainage systems, preventing deadly floods during rainy season, public sanitation zones, ensuring dignity in neglected communities. Each project is tied directly to development, but more importantly, it's tied to dignity. They are not building roads, they are building hope. Let's pause here and analyze this with the lens of economics. In any normal system, labor is expensive. Governments rely on taxes, aid, or loans to fund infrastructure. But in Burkina Faso, something new is happening: voluntary civic labor, inspired not by coercion but patriotic commitment, has drastically reduced the cost of public works. Roads that would have cost billions in CFA are now being constructed at a fraction of the cost. Imagine the economic ripple effects. Budget savings are redirected to education, defense, and health. Public morale increases. Corruption is cut off when people see what's being built. Foreign dependency is reduced. This is not just labor. This is resistance through development. None of this would be possible without a national vision, and that comes from the top. Captain Ibrahim Traore, seen by many as the people's leader, has sparked a wave of grassroots patriotism. Since taking over in 2022, he has pushed for sovereignty, security, and African dignity. His speeches often end with the same message: we will build this country with our own hands, and Burkina women have responded literally. Traore has not begged international donors, he has not waited for France. He has not turned to the IMF with a begging bowl. Instead, he has turned inward to the soul of the Burkina people, and they have answered the call. At Afrique News, our mission is to showcase the stories that global media ignores, the stories that prove Africa is not just surviving, but thriving. This movement in Burkina Faso isn't just about building roads. It's about reclaiming agency. It's about restoring the dignity of African labor. It's about rewriting the narrative, and that's why you, our audience, need to hear this. Because this story is not just about Burkina Faso, It's about what's possible across Africa. To understand the full weight of what's happening in Burkina Faso, we must go deeper beyond the images of women lifting bricks and smoothing gravel. We must go back into Burkina Faso's history to a time when the soil was soaked not just in labor, but in sacrifice. This isn't the first time the Burkina people have risen up to reclaim their future. In the 1980s, a young revolutionary named Thomas Sankara dared to dream of a self-reliant Burkina Faso. He planted trees. He vaccinated millions. He refused foreign aid with conditions. And above all, he empowered women. You cannot carry out fundamental change without a certain degree of madness. Thomas Sankara, that same energy, the madness of hope, the courage to believe in us is what we see today in these 20,000 women. Many of them never met Sankara. Some weren't even born when he was assassinated, but his spirit never left. And now, under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore, that spirit is being revived. A new chapter is being written one brick at a time. You might imagine volunteers in construction to be trained engineers or government workers. But here's the reality. Some are market traders who sell tomatoes by day and shovel sand at dawn. Others are nurses who leave the clinic to mix concrete after hours. There are grandmothers who say they're too old to fight with guns but not too old to fight with their hands. What are they actually building? Let's break down the projects that these 20,000 women are involved in. Reconnecting communities. Many villages in Burkina Faso were cut off by poor roads, terrorism, or simple neglect. The women are helping build new rural roads in provinces like Nogna, Bam, and Zondoma, repair and expand key routes leading to markets, clinics, and schools. Clear and secure old paths once abandoned due to terrorist threats. Safe zones for women and children. Women volunteers are leading construction of protective walls around schools and community centers. Drainage canals to prevent flooding in low-income areas. Emergency shelters for displaced families and women fleeing violence. Training and mentorship. This isn't just manual work, it's transformation. Local engineers are training women in masonry, carpentry, and surveying. Youth are shadowing volunteers, learning construction as a future career. Women are teaching other women, creating a national chain of empowerment. It's a revolution of skill, not slogans. You may ask, why would anyone work for free for weeks in the hot Sahel sun? It's not about money. It's about revenge, not through bullets, but through rebirth. It's about honor, because after years of foreign troops, coups, and abandonment, the people have chosen to rely on themselves. And it's about legacy, because they know no foreign power will build Burkina Faso. France left us. The world abandoned us, but we didn't abandon ourselves. If I don't build this school, who will? Since the initiative began just a few months ago, the results are mind-blowing. Over 350 kilometers of rural road constructed or rehabilitated, more than 110 schools and clinics fenced and upgraded. Thousands of displaced families resettled through women-built shelters. 500 young women now trained in construction skills. 0 salaries. 100% volunteer work. This isn't just construction. This is civilian defense through development. The government's response. Captain Ibrahim Traore has personally visited several of these sites. He's not offering money, he's offering recognition. And that's more powerful. At one recent event, he said, "This country belongs to its people." Today, our mothers, sisters, and daughters have reminded us that our strength lies not in what we are given, but in what we give. The government is now supporting women-led cooperatives with tools and safety equipment, offering land certificates and business licenses to volunteers, encouraging other ministries to adopt this model. Mainstream Western media barely covers this movement. Why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative of Africa in crisis. But at Afrique News, we don't wait for headlines. We create them. We document the pulse of our continent. And right